Hello, students. So far, we have read the epitaph of the poem, in which the poet has related the present poem of him with the biblical or the Greek allusion from Dante's Inferno, that as no one returns from hell, in the modern life also the hollowness or the lack of sensitivity is similar. So the poet or the protagonist of the poem, he is intending to propose to his beloved, and he find it quite difficult for him to express his feelings. So he just proposes only a walk to some restaurant, to some hotel, and then he compares his situation with that of the mazed streets, sordid restaurants, cheap hotels, and still he says that, like them, I am unable to express what I feel. Even if the girl asks the question that what is it, he wants her not to ask that question. Now, let's go ahead. The yellow fog that rubs it back upon the window panes, the yellow smoke that rubs its muzzle on the window panes, licked its tongue into the corners of the evening, lingered upon the pools that stand in drains, let fall upon its back the soot that falls from chimneys, slipped by the terrace, made a sudden leap, and seeing that it was a soft October night, curled once about the house and fell asleep. Now, here, look at the imagery that the poet, he compares the evening scenario or the fog with an animal. He says that the yellow fog that rubs it back upon the window panes. It is the time of evening, and it is the fog there, and the fog, he says, just like an animal, it is rubbing its back to the window panes, the windows. If you look from a distance, then what you see, that the windows are covered with fog. So he says that that animal, that fog animal, it has rubbed its back upon the window panes. Then the yellow smoke that rubs its muzzle on the window panes, and that yellow smoke, a mixture of smoke and fog, and that yellow colored dirty smoke from the chimneys and smoke from the factory outlets. So all that is mixed up. It has rubbed its muzzle. Muzzle is that protruding part of animal mouth. जैसे हम घोड़े की बात करें, ऊंट की बात करें, तो जो एनिमल्स के चेहरे का वो पार्ट जो उनके मुंह से आगे निकला होता है, दैट इज कॉल्ड मजल. सो दैट एनिमल, ही कंपेयर्स दैट एनिमल, दैट इट मीन्स चूंकि वो अंदर तक उसकी रीच है, बाहर तक नहीं. इवन सम विंडो इज a bit inside in the house, even that window is covered with fog. So how it is covered? Because that fog animal, the animal which he compares to the fog, it has reached its muzzle to that window pane, that inner pane also, licked its tongue into the corners of the evening, and it has licked all the corners of the evening with its tongue. Means the fog has spread everywhere, not on the panes, not on the corners, everywhere the fog has spread. Again, what happens when the fog is there? We can't see things, we are uncertain of things, we are not clear, and we don't have a clear vision. And the same is happening with the protagonist, Profrock. He doesn't have a clear vision of what he should do or what he should not do. So that this imagery, this is to present the inner fog of his mind, of his heart, of his psychology. Lingered upon the pools that stand in drains, and then the pools of water, small pools of water that are standing there in the drains, नाली में पानी जो इकट्ठा हो रहा है ना, उसकी बात कर रहा है. It lingered upon there also. It let fall upon its back the soot that falls from chimneys. And this animal, this fog animal, that evening animal, it has allowed the soot of the chimneys, the black dust of the chimneys, the black char of the chimneys to fall upon its back to make it more yellowish and the more blackish. Slipped by the terrace, made a sudden leap, and then भी जो चिमनी से जो धुआं आ रही है उसकी भी देखिए कंपैरिजन एक जानवर के साथ, दैट इट स्लिप्ड बाय द टेरेस, टेरेस से स्लिप होके जब ये नीचे आ रही है, मेड ए सडन लीप, अचानक से कूदती है, कूदता है, वो शूट है या वो जो एनिमल है उसकी बात कर रहा है, एंड सीइंग दैट इट वाज ए सॉफ्ट अक्टूबर नाइट, एंड आफ्टर द जंप व्हेन इट सीज दैट इट वाज ए सॉफ्ट अक्टूबर नाइट, इट curled once about the house and fell asleep. Then it just curls in a corner of the house and falls asleep. Means same is the situation of the heart of the protagonist, that he makes a leap, his heart makes a leap, but when he finds that it is an October night, means it is a cold night, and the fear that the beloved might be having cold feelings towards him, then again that feeling curls up in a corner of the heart. And indeed, there will be time for the yellow smoke that slides along the street, rubbing its back upon the window panes. There will be time. There will be time to prepare a face to meet the faces that you meet. There will be time to murder and create, and time for all the works and days of hands that lift and drop a question on your plate. Time for you and time for me, and time yet for 100 indecisions and 400 visions and revisions before the taking of a toast and tea. In the room, the women come and go, talking of Michelangelo. Again, you will find that the poem has no rhyme scheme. The poem has no fixed number of syllables. And all the lines are irregular, all the syllables are irregular, all the stress patterns are irregular. Why? Just to show that irregularity of modern life, that monotony of modern life, just to show us the inner unpatternedness, inner disturbance of the protagonist mind. He says, indeed, there will be time. Now, because in the above paragraph, above stanza, what we have read, that he said that, okay, then what happens? That seeing that it is an October light, it curls up in a corner of the house and falls asleep. Means that feeling is suppressed. But then he says, and indeed there will be time. He says, okay, now if it is not the right time for me to propose to me, to say those words to my beloved, then there will be time. There will be the right time for the yellow smoke that slides along the street, rubbing its back upon the window panes. There will be time for this smoke to lift up, this smoke to clear. There will be a time. There will be time to prepare a face to meet the faces you meet. And there will be time. Means he says, means now he is planning of some meeting. So he says, there will be time enough for me to prepare my face, means to get myself ready to meet the faces, to meet many faces where I will pay the visit. And time, there will be time to murder and create. Now look at we can say that how he is comparing that trivial act of propose to such big tasks. He says, there will be time to murder and create. There will be time for creation as well as for destruction. मर्डर के लिए भी, निर्माण के लिए भी, हर चीज के लिए देयर विल बी टाइम, एनफ टाइम फॉर एवरीथिंग. There will and time for all the works and days of him. There will be time to do all the works which you are supposed to do by your hand, that lift and drop a question on your plate. And there will be time to lift and offer that question, like you offer some tea on a plate to the beloved, to the girl. Time for you and time for me. There will be enough time for you and for me, and time yet for 100 indecisions. But he said, this is such a simple task of just putting that question in a plate in front of you. But still, he says, there will be a time for 100 indecisions, for 100 visions and revisions before the taking of a toast and tea. And then he said, okay, let's first take the toast and tea, means first eat some breakfast just to gather the energy so that I can speak these words to you. So again, means he is not able to express his views. Again he falls back, again 100 indecisions, 100 revisions he wants to have, and then he decides that okay, let's have a toast and tea, means let's first have some breakfast so that I gather up energy, I gather up the time, I gather up confidence, and then I will say those words to you. So again we see that the protagonist is feeling that kind of lack of confidence, cowardice, irresolution. He is not, means look at how cowardice he is, or how he's putting his excuse that just a simple trivial task to say this thing to his beloved, that he loves her or he wants to marry her, he compares it to a tasks as big as a murder. He might have the confidence to do a murder, to commit such a big task, but still he lacks the confidence, he lacks the courage to say such the words to his beloved. So this is it for the day. Thank you.